G'day folks, Rod from My Water Filter here today, and what we're going to do is just have a look at installing the Doulton twin benchtop water filter with double carbon. Okay, this is a pretty popular little water filter and it actually makes magnificent water. Okay, it can be used for rainwater or for city water. It's not going to remove any fluoride, but with the double carbon in there, it really does make tasty water. There's no doubt about that, okay? So what we do with any My Water Filter product when it arrives, we ask the customer to play the game and help us out and inspect it as soon as you get it. Even if you're not going to install it straight away, as soon as your water filter arrives, open it up, have a good look over it. It's been through the courier process and they do damage products unfortunately when it gets transported at times. So pull it apart, have a look at it, notify us if we need to act if anything's wrong. If it's all good, we're good to go, all right? We've had a look at this one here today, it's made the journey and we're good to go. So we're just going to connect it up for you now and I'll show you what we would do, all right? So I'm just going to lift it out the road and just going to lay down this towel. I always lay a towel down, just stops the noise and the drumming, stops anything being scratched, and it's just a nicer surface to work off, okay? So here's our water filter, got the opening handle for the housings and the adapter for our tap spout, okay? So first thing that we're going to do is have a look at the cartridges inside the water filter, okay? So we'll just lay him over on its side like so. Get the housing tool. Now it does say on each side open and close, and that open and close has to go down when you're sliding the tool over the top of the housing, all right? These are an Australian style thread, meaning that it is a right-handed thread, turn to the right to make it go tight. In this instance, we're going to remove the housing, so we want to turn the housing anti-clockwise, looking down from the top, okay? So we'll just give it put that tool on, a little bit of weight on, and just break that seal, which is very easy on this one today. How tight your housings will be to get off next year is all dependent on how tight you tighten them here today or when you install or flush your cartridges, okay? So it's vitally important that you don't over tighten these systems. So as soon as you put the tool on and we just break the thread, take it off, you can do it by hand, all right? And all we want to do here now is inspect the cartridges inside this system. So we just get here and we take this housing off the top. Now be careful, we don't want to drop this cartridge, all right? It's ceramic and it will break, okay? So we're going to take it out and just treat it like an egg, and it's strong, but we just don't want to drop it. Now what we want to do is make sure that there's been no damage in transport. So we're just going to cast our eyes up and down this cartridge, just looking for any cracks, making sure there's no cracks in the cartridge, and there's not. It's made the journey well and we're good to go. Washers on this end, hole here, washer that end, sealed end, okay? Water penetrates through the cartridge to the center core, the water's going to come out the hole. This hole on a bench top must go down into the head cap, all right? Under sink goes the other way. On a bench top, the hole must go down so the water can flow through it, okay? We're happy with this cartridge, it's made the journey, we're going to put him back in, okay? I'm just going to do it up by hand to here. Now we'll take out the carbon cartridge in position 2, alright? This is just a good quality American cartridge. Once again, same thing, just going to cast my eyes up and down the cartridge, make sure that there's no cracks and it's broken. Just screw the end caps, make sure she's all solid. Got a nice washer on that end, and that cartridge has made the journey and it's good to go too. Alright, housing back on, screw him up, housing tool, just nip those up a little bit. And that's all you need, just nip them up tight. If you turn it on, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to have a little bit of water leak out of the bottom of the seal, and if that happens you can just tighten it up a little bit more. But don't go over tightening them because they just don't need it, okay? Now we've done that, we're happy with that. You can check your connections and just make sure everything's tight. Here's the white hose that the water's going to travel along to the filter, and on the end of the white hose is our diverter, okay? Obviously it's going to connect here onto the spout of our kitchen bench tap, okay? So first thing we're going to do is on the end of the spout is the diverter, so the aerator. So we're going to remove the aerator, and that will simply unscrew as it is now, alright? So just screw straight off. This is a male thread, this one here, and it goes up into a female thread. And as you can see on each side, it's got a slot cut in there, and that's so you can put a crescent or a spanner or a tool on there if it's tight and you need to loosen it to get it out. But this one's coming out nicely for us today, and we're good to go. As you can see, we took out a male aerator, which is now exposed a female thread. And our diverters are a female thread, so obviously we can't connect those two together like that, alright? We need our little double male adapter to connect the two together, alright? So we'll just grab this one out of here. And there's a big rubber washer in the top. I'll pull that one out today, we won't need it, okay? And there's just the other rubber washer inside there, okay? These have got a thread on both sides. Now the big thread's going to go up into the tap, and it's a bit of a pinpoint thread. It's a funny style design, but that is actually a thread. So you can wipe a bit of thread tape around this to seal it and make it airtight and make it seal better. And then you're simply going to screw it up into the spout thread, okay? And we actually want this to be tight in here. So when you screw it right up, do get a pair of mouldy grips or pliers or a tool and just give it a little nip up to make sure it's tight, leak proof, airtight, and it's sealed up, alright? Once you put that in here, now you can see that we've got a male thread. Can wrap a bit of thread tape around it if you like, but they do have a black washer in here that's going to seal on it, so you should be good to go. So you just get the diverter, screw that diverter straight here onto the adapter, nice and tight. Make sure both of those are tight, and we're good to go. And there we go. At this point of time, the filter is fully connected, and all we need to do now is to turn it on and give it a flush. Now, all water filters require a good flush when they're new, alright? And this is straight out of the box here, so what we want to do is give it a flush. Sometimes you'll have specialty cartridges, fluoride cartridges in position 1, etc., and you do need to remove the cartridges and flush them singly, things like that. But what we've got here is a bit of a special one, because we've got a Doulton, ceramic, and then carbon inside, and this cartridge in second place, this carbon cartridge in second place. This cartridge is just carbon, so any fines or anything that wash out of the first one is not going to do any harm here on the second one. So both cartridges are inside. All we're going to do is simply turn on the water, let the water flush around and fill the first housing. It'll flow in the second, and then it will come and it'll flow out the spout. When the first water comes out the spout, especially on a double carbon system, you're going to see some black water come out. It won't last very long, they're only small cartridges, but I would expect the water to be grey to black coming out of the spout of your filter. So you might want to put a bucket underneath, throw it out on the garden, something like that. You are going to run it and flush it for at least 5 minutes. There'll be a fair few litres of water there. So if you want to take care of the water, just pour it into a bucket and put it out onto the pot plants or the garden, and you'll be good to go. But failing that, just give this system a good 5-minute flush. And after you've done that, you can leave it, you can use it. The carbon will activate, etc. overnight. So in about 12 hours time, turn on the tap again, drop 3 litres of water this time, and drop it in a bucket again, put it on the garden, with just a quick 3-minute flush the next day, and you're pretty much good to go. And you'll be able to use that then ongoing for the next 12 months, no worries at all. If the water flow ever slowed down, pull your Doulton out, have a look at our video on scrubbing ceramic cartridges, get it under the tap, give it a good scrub with some 100 grit sandpaper, put it back, you'll get your flow rate back and away you go again. Any dramas, any issues, anything, just give us a call, we're always happy to hear from you. But apart from that, enjoy and have a good day.